Okay, there's the top of the hour. We are going to get going. Welcome everyone. Tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different. Last time we were working on getting the material design release out, and so release 3.0.1 is now out. Primarily a bug fix release, but anybody who had been struggling with issues with the version numbers of the DLLs, those should all be hopefully fixed and everything's going. My intent is to try to keep the releases flowing out every few weeks, just so that things keep going and keep updating and not necessarily block things. On a slightly different note with that, there was a user who actually started doing work on UWP integration, and so that's been an area that's been interesting to me, and I've taken a crack at it a couple times, but ultimately I've never had time to get it production ready. So if anyone is interested in helping out with that, I believe we're probably going to move in the direction of also supporting UWP in addition to Wpf, primarily for the purpose of supporting WinUI 3 when it's eventually ready. So we'll probably have a few streams where we dive into that. I know I've mentioned the WinUI stuff back around the build conference when it was first announced. It's still very much alpha release. But it's still there and ready to be played with, and so trying to get the library basically into a state where it would be easy to migrate to that. So that's the end goal, just to make sure that this library is using latest and greatest stuff and it's available for everyone, and hopefully get a few more users and a lot more reach. So for tonight, I'm going back to the Stream Subtitle app that I had going, and I'm actually going to flip over here real quick, because there we go. You'll note there are now subtitles at the bottom of the screen, using the wonderful app that we built prior. Apparently I am talking too fast and my little queue on the right is getting really big, and so it's going to take a while to catch up. So the subtitles are still very much delayed, but it appears to be working rather well. So the current plan for tonight is to push it into Azure Dev Ops, get a C Icd pipeline rolling for it, and then go through and build out hopefully an Msi X installer. So that I have not done that yet for reference for a Wpf app. So we're going to see how it goes and see what problems there are. But the Azure pipeline I think would just be highly convenient for most of this. So for anybody who is interested, let's grab the repo first of all. So let's see, GitHub, kaboo, something, I think it's stream subtitles, something like this. Great. So here is for anybody interested in following along, there is the repo link for it. And so I have taken a slight head start in going through this, and have already gone through and created an Azure DevOps project, only because this can sometimes take a minute to create, and I didn't want to have a bunch of downtime while I waited for it. So this is basically open up Azure DevOps, log in, new project, type in stream subtitles, and that's about it. I don't think I did any changes to it at all. So the project is marked as public, so people should be able to at least view the contents of this. But we're going to go through and see about setting this up. So the first thing we're going to do is dive into the project settings. So for starters, I don't need a bunch of stuff. My code is on GitHub. I don't need repos. I don't really care about using boards. I will probably use issues on GitHub instead. And primarily just use this for pipelines. I'm going to leave artifacts turned on for now, only because maybe that's how we distribute. I don't know. We'll see. So leave that on, but pipelines are the interesting area for now. So refresh page to see changes, and ultimately what we're looking for is these icons on the left to see some of those guys drop off. So hopefully this is fairly quick setting this up. So some people may notice that my list on the left differs from what you might see. The reason for that is if you click on the little person gear and underneath preview features, I have the multi-stage pipeline feature turned on. So if you're interested in trying some of the new stuff, you'll note you can change the scope of what these toggles do. By default, I believe it defaults to just your user, so you can turn them on without affecting the rest of your team. But if you have permissions, you could turn them on for, say, the entire org. In my case, just me, and then you can go through and toggle and play with some of the new features, and if you don't like them, just switch them back off. But they are usually fairly indicative of the new stuff that's coming down the pipe. So we are going to create a new C Icd pipeline. So CI, continuous integration, basically means that pull requests and merges should automatically be built, compiled, and unit test run, and then CD, continuous deployment, pushing it out somewhere. So where is my code? My code lives on GitHub, and because I've done this many times, I've got this thing already connected out to my GitHub. So we'll pick that. This is a .NET desktop application, so we'll go there, and poof, we've got a brand new YAML file ready to go. So let's see, what did it do for me? So it's going to use the latest version of Windows. Great, doesn't bother me in the least. Going to compile for any CPU. This, I think, is the first thing that we need to change. If I recall correctly, one of the issues that we ran into this was the configuration needed to be 64-bit. If I remember, platform target x64. So this is highly misleading. Let's rename this. Will it let me edit any CPU? No. It's gonna go through and see about naming this. New copy settings, great. Great, that's probably better. And then let's see if we can edit these and remove any CPU. Even though it was using x64, the name of the configuration was any CPU, and I see that causing some level of confusion. So save, and we'll commit that really quick. I assume, let's see, csproj. Oh, it turned on that. Why did you do this to me? Platform targets any CPU. What was this prior? Let's see. So this is a new change. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is I don't want any CPU. I want this thing to run 64-bit and 64-bit only. Again, this tool is largely just for me, and so I'm really not concerned about trying to support a lot of cases because it's my tool, it's my stream. The first Mountain Dew is almost gone. That's not a good sign. Don't worry, I've got multiple Mountain Dews in queue. Okay, so back to get cracking. Okay, 64-bit, 64-bit. Let's see here. What did you do? So any CPU got renamed to x64. Looks like it regenerated a GUID for one of the projects. Okay. Let's see. Adding x64 as the target platform. x64 is usually spelled with a 6, not a 7. On most days. Okay, that push, great. And we'll go back to here. So we want to make sure we do the same thing in our pipeline. So build platform isn't going to be any CPU, it's going to be x64. So we'll toggle that. Release configuration sounds great. So it's going to do NuGet tools installer, and I think I want 5 numlock 530. Always check for newer versions. Right, I think that's what I want. We'll give that a shot. Something in the back of my mind is telling me that just running this by itself doesn't guarantee the latest version. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I want to double check. So we're going to try that. So NuGet tools installer, it's going to run a NuGet command, which is going to do a restore, which is great, on the solution. Perfect. It's going to compile the solution, this is just find me all the solution files. In this case, there should only be one, so this should just match any solution file found, which we only have one, with the platform and configuration that we specified above. In DevOps, or YAML I guess, this is the variable syntax. So you declare a variable up here with this name, and then wrap it $paren name, and that pushes it through. And then it'll run the unit test for us, and that's all she wrote. So I like it. So save and run. Commit directly into the master branch. Sure, why not? And so this is going to trigger on all things into master, which is probably what we want. For now, it's just me working on it, so at some time we'll get into doing pull requests. It's worth noting, if you don't turn on that preview feature, this screen looks very different between the old and the new UIs. It felt weird to me when they first put it in, but then I started to get used to it, and I think I like it better. Pretty sure. Tough to tell. So this guy here, using version 5.3.0. Great. Do wonder if that's going to bite me at some point, having a hard-coded version like that. I should look at what the variables are for the new spec. But regardless, it's going to go through and do NuGet package restore, which I think we only have a handful of them, right? So we've got material design, the cognitive services stuff, MVVM Lite, and then obviously the unit test and coverlet. So not a lot of packages to restore. In theory, shouldn't take long. Come on. Come on. The other thing that can be rather unfortunate is occasionally, yeah, this thing doesn't necessarily spew output as it goes, despite the fact that it would be nice if it was tailing, and then all of a sudden it just barfs it all. So, not necessarily sure that's a problem of DevOps, or if it's the NuGet CLI that's doing it, or whatever. But regardless, so the thing compiled, great. Hopefully it finds all our unit tests that we wrote, which should all be in a passing state. We left this, I believe, with the live unit testing stuff running. Yeah, so it should find 5 tests. They should all pass. Everyone should be happy. So let's see here. All this stuff down here. Creative publishing test results 0. Publish test results. Finish VS test. Where does it say? Did it not find my tests? Did it not find my tests? What's going on? I am confused. VS test console. Scroll this. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa there, buddy. Let's see. x64 release. Blah, blah, blah. Netcore. These are all Microsoft thingies. What? It does not look like it picked up my DLL, and instead picked up a bunch of other ones. So we might look at whatever globbing pattern that's using. MS test discovery, blah, blah, blah. Filters through a bunch of these things. Oh boy. Come on. This horizontal scroll thing is killing me. Failed to discover tests. Yeah, I believe that. That's interesting. So let's jump back here. Well, so we have some warnings. And it looks like the nullable stuff is doing its job, which is great. That's what we expect. The test, though, so hold on. We want all tests. Come on. Come on, DevOps. Failed, aborted. This should not be a hard thing to load. There are no test failures. That also screams to me that there were no tests run. No test results found. Yeah, that. So this one appears to just be causing this thing to spin. Well, okay, so regardless, we've got an issue here. So let's go and fix that. So back into our pipeline here, edit. And how are you matching? What are you? Sorry. Things are just buzzing away and having fun. Great. Oh, it looks like I'm getting email notifications about my stream. So how are you matching? So it is looking for things that have test in the name, but not test adapter and not things in an OBJ directory. Okay. Let's see. We already have a configuration set up. Test run title, build platform, build configuration. Okay, so that seems fine, right? Let's see. Okay, so let's take a quick look because we haven't actually run this in release locally. So compile and run, or I should say compile and build, and then we're going to run. We're just going to verify that this does actually in fact work locally, because it is important. The number of times I've caught issues where changing from release to debug causes a failure or a pass, it's way too high. Okay, so test, build, and launch locally. So let's just dive into this guy. So when this guy compiles and runs, should be in here, and I would expect it to pick up test.dll. So let's look at this matching pattern here. So we're going to be a little more restrictive, but that matches what we expect our output to be, right? Because it should end with .test.dll, so hopefully it'll parse through a few less things. Won't bother to go into OBJ directories, which is what we want. Definitely don't want test adapter.dlls. So that should be fine. Add. Oh. Okay, so we'll do that. And test selector. Why was test plan, test assemblies? Got it. So it needs this, needs this. Okay, save, commit. Now, I think because of the previous one, will that, yeah, that'll automatically trigger a build. So because there was already the YAML saved from our first commit, so we'll note here we've now got 2 commits that are being done by ADO, Azure Dev Ops. Because there was already one in there that told it to trigger on master branch stuff, away we go. Hopefully some of this goes a little quicker. I need to look up, there is a way to effectively put a NuGet cache between ADO and NuGet.org so that things go a little bit quicker on this restore, because as you can see, this can take up a sizable percentage of your build time. Come on. Go. Go. I know it's hard. But I do want to make sure that we actually see tests go through here. Because having a CI pipeline that doesn't run your tests is not that helpful. Okay, so I just want to confirm DA1S. Typically, Azure Dev Ops, if you leave things alone, you'll have a working directory that looks similar to this. Built-in solution, release x64. Should just work, I hope. Come on. A total of 1 test file match the specified pattern. I would hope so. Look at that. 5 unit tests. Huzzah. Great. So if we go and look at this guy here, I should be able to go here. That's what I wanted to see, right? So 100% test pass. The time for duration of running the test is up to 9 seconds and 14 milliseconds from 0 because now we have tests, so sort of expect it to be longer. Perfect. Done. CD or a CI at least implemented. Okay, so much for the easy part. So we're going to pin that guy there, and let's go ahead and just pin this guy here. So this is the next bit to go through, and this is the part I haven't done before, so this is where it probably gets more interesting, is going through and publishing out a Wpf app as part of an MSI X. So MSI X was first introduced with Windows 8, part of the Metro app stuff to... No, that was AppX. MSI X is the next version of it. Don't quote me on when it came into existence. But this is the latest installer technology. It's how like Windows Store packages up apps. So it lets you package your app up in a nice container, and then Windows does all of the nicety stuff for you. So this is what we're going to go through and do. It is important to note if you do not have the Wpf workload installed, or I'm not sorry, you need the Wpf workload installed as well as the UWP workload. You'll note from this tutorial, I believe at the very top in overview, it outlines, let's see, where is it? One of these guys shows what is needed. So this is everything that you have to have installed. So .NET Desktop development, Universal Windows Platform development, Windows 10 SDK installed. So these things, if you just have the WPF stuff installed, not good enough. You won't be able to do the very next step because I kind of poked at this a little bit to see how easy it was going to be. Didn't get very far, but here's where we're going. So add a new project, and we're looking for the Windows Application Packaging project. So we're going to start there. So add new project, packaging, and you'll note I have 2, but in this case we want C#. I don't know why with my C# filter I'm seeing the VB one, but whatever. Okay, so let's call it stream subtitles setup, perhaps. Sounds like a good name to me. Version of Windows. Yeah, sure. I think because 1809 is fairly... Yeah, I don't necessarily know if we need to go any older. Again, this is for me. I'm trying to think if I have any computers that are old that I might want this on. Nah, good enough. Okay, and apparently we need to go into developer mode. Yep, I am turning on developer mode. I assume that's why it popped this. I hope. I didn't actually read that far in the directions. So select Windows 10. Ooh, maybe I was supposed to pick 1903. Oops. This is why reading directions is important. Reading can sometimes be hard. Well, we'll see if we can change it. So it creates all of that. what did they called theirs, which just .package. Okay, sure. Maybe we should go back and rename ours with .package. Let's do that. We'll be a little more in line. We'll fix my mistakes. So go ahead and remove that. Great. Let's jump back over to here, up a level, this guy, delete. Yeah, sure, great. Let's try this one more time. So add new project. Let's see, packaging, take the C# version, stream, subtitles, package. All right, that's what, not crazy. Yep. Oh, crazy, but not for that. And then target version 1903. Minimum version, we'll just set minimum version 1903, right? I think that's what I'm running anyway. 18363. Yeah. Great. Perfect. Okay, so that guy is turned on. Next step. In the installer project, right click on the applications node and choose add reference, and we point it at the app. Okay, so expand this out, applications node, add reference, stream subtitles. Okay, seems easy enough. That worries me. Visual Studio, you're not supposed to throw errors when doing simple operations, but moving right along. Expand the applications and highlight it in bold. This means it will be used as the starting point for the package. So expand, it is there, it is highlighted in bold. Okay. Right click on the packaging project and set it as the startup project. Okay. So apparently we're debugging this thing. In the Solution Explorer, right click on and select Edit Project File. Can I just double click? Ha! Directions are already out of date. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Edit Project File. Locate the import element in the file. Replace the element with this gobbledygook. Okay, so we're looking for WAP project path, something about desktop bridge targets. So it's an import, it's probably near the bottom. Yeah, right about there. Paste. And because I really want to, format. Thank you for scrolling me to the top. Appreciate that. Okay. So I'll note that it didn't actually remove it. It just inserted an item group before, added a target, and brought some stuff in. Okay, I will trust you. And then let's take a look at, save the project file and close it. Already saved, close. Next step, press F5 to start the packaged app in the debugger. It's now running the icon in the taskbar. It's now defaulted. I'm gonna have to get myself an icon and all the kinds of cool stuff that go along with this. It's gonna become a real app here pretty quick. Okay, so let's just start with this. So launch in local machine. We need one more Mountain Dew. Let's go with the throwback. Well, the app's running. I do see the standard box with an X icon. Look at that. We appear to be working. That was way too easy. Way too easy. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. The icon in the taskbar. Yep. You'll notice that the option typically reserved for app download, such as app settings, rate and review and share. So let's just confirm that guy. If we right click on here, more, rate, review and share. OK. If you want to uninstall it, right click. Test the notification. So this is leading back to some of the other stuff. And OK, so now that we got that going, let's figure out how we can do this here. So this has a publish, associate app with store, create app packages. I think this is what I want, right? Because right now we're just going to do side loading. Yeah, because I don't think we're publishing this through the store. This is not ready for store deployment. So that might make another fun stream. We'll go all the way to the Windows Store. Let's see. Would you like to sign this app package? I don't have a cert right now, so no. Skip signing sounds great. And then where would we like it to go? App packages, increment, architecture. I think we just do. I don't think we want neutral. We want x64 only. Select all architectures for your app to run the most devices possible. Right. Well, I don't know. Again, this is mostly for me, so 64 sounds wonderful. So let's see here. Configure installer location. Ooh, see, now this is where... This is where I'm wondering if we can get a little more creative. How do we wrap this little guy up and publish him? Well, for now, let's do this. d:/temp/subtitles installer, right? So we're gonna do that, and then for fun, so you copy that, give me a PowerShell window. Let's see, mkdir, paste, go. Great. We're gonna do that for now. We'll deal with online stuff in a minute. For now, we're just going to publish locally, verify we can sideload and launch the app, and away we go. So first, let's uninstall this, right? We don't want to get confused with that guy sitting there. So it's doing stuff. It's doing lots of stuff. Should probably not have build output verbosity turned so far up. Yeah, let's go back down to minimal. I don't need all the output. I just need enough, at least for now. Okay, so output location here. Great, so that's a whole bunch of stuff. Did it put anything here, or did it? No, that's just for the updates. Okay, so we're going to go here. We've got an app installer, which I think you just... Oh, it's got an index.o. What do you have? Oh, that's just too easy. I'm sort of thinking we could host this out on Azure really, really easily now. Get the app. What do you point at? d:/temp subtitles installer. So as long as I put stuff at the right URL, this thing just works. And it'll generate this for me and pretty icons, and I don't have to think too hard. I can get on board with this. Okay, so it's just pointed at the app installer. So let's see, copy and close, copy the output, blah, 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 blah. No, don't care. I got the folders open. We're good. So I got too much stuff open. So here though, let's double click, make sure this thing side loads. Error in parsing the app package. Well, that's not a good sign. So I'm sort of wondering if all of this stuff here needs to end up in d:/temp, right? In this, I'm wondering if it's looking in here for this stuff, because that's where this index right? Because this guy here, if I look at the URL at the bottom, this is where it's pointing, right? D, temp, subtitles installer, etc., etc. So now let's try. Ah, ha, ha. So it does look at that location. That sort of makes sense. By installing, you agree. Untrusted App, Big Scary X. I do like how it's still using the box with the X and the dark theme. It looks horrible. We're going to have to change that. So install. Oh, this one isn't signed with a trusted certificate. Well, I didn't have a certificate to sign it with. Grumble, 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 grumble. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Create app package, because we're going to need to sign this with something. Suppose we could... oh, select a certificate. There's a create button. Publisher common name. I need a password. Let's see here. When in doubt, generate me a secure password. Let's go with something that, I don't know, maybe 32 characters long, uppercase, lowercase. Great. Paste, paste. Should probably put that somewhere useful. 1 second. This needs to go into my vault. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember it because I don't know it. Where's the add button? Add password, stream, subtitles, cert, right, password, put it in dev, save. For anyone not using a password manager, I would highly, highly encourage it. There are lots of good ones out there. I'm currently jamming on LastPass. Here, we'll throw that in. I firmly believe everyone should be using password managers. There's little reason not to. There's a couple weird websites out there that try to restrict password managers, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But other than that, okay. So we got a cert, big long password. Just love that. Okay, so yes, use the current certificate. Great. Don't care. Defaults look wonderful. Does beg the question why the heck it let me. We're just going to replace it at 0. And I think I can probably cheat a little further, right? Because I think I can just go d temp. I'll just if I output to the same location, right? Let's just copy this so I don't botch it and get confused. But if I output to the same location, it should just work. I mean, obviously it makes sense that the output location and the update location should probably be different, or I guess installer location. It makes sense that those are different. But for the purposes of the local testing and just seeing how this works, this'll do. This'll do. Come on, go, 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 go. So hopefully, guessing I'm going to have to check some of this in. So let's just check and see what it did here, right? So it looks like there's a bunch of stuff there. Okay, app installer launch, unsigned. Install, or you need a new app patches, but terminated root certificate. Oh, because it's not trusted. Well, of course it's not trusted. I just self-signed it. This is harder than it needs to be. Why would it generate something that didn't Personal information. I'm with you. I just don't understand why. Sorry, now I'm just poking around at this to see what's in each of these things. So this is where we could set up a whole bunch of cool stuff. Visual assets, tiling, great capabilities. We do need internet. We probably need to declare microphone. Probably. I don't know what else it might need, but we're going to at least declare that. Available declarations. I don't think we care. Content URI packaging. Okay, so the question being, it packaged into a cert. Where is that thing? So let's go look for it. Go ahead and trust it for the local machine. Yep. I need the password again. Where's my password manager? Stream subtitles cert. Great. Copy password. Paste. Yep. Finish. Import was successful. Okay. Now back to where we were. Installer, run, install. Either you need a new certificate installed for this app package, or you need a new app package with a trusted certificate. But the terminated root certificate, which isn't trusted. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Let's take a look. Open. Nope, not what I'm looking to do. So this does all of the installery stuff. No, go away. Remember me later, thanks. How does one get this thing to go? Untrusted App Install. Okay, did we not turn on developer mode? Yeah, use developer features. Okay, so what are we missing here? Device discovery, turn on diagnostics, blah blah blah, and use advanced development features. Okay, that's sort of what I want. Either you need a new certificate installed for this app package, or you need a new app package. Oh, there's the cert. Cert claiming to represent blah. Yes. Okay, let's try this one more time. Install. Install. You are killing me. Okay. Yeah. I had to remove snap-in. Certs. Finish. Okay, so what is going on here? This certainly seems to claim this guy thinks the certificate's okay. Your system administrator, the app developer can help. Certificate chain process, but okay. When in doubt, we're going to ask the Googles, because this is, I am not the first one to run a. It's probably self-signed, so you need to install it. Blah blah blah. Right click on the AppX file, digital signatures. Okay, so let's try that. So properties, digital signatures, details, view certificates. Okay. Let's see. Ah ha ha. This is probably the issue. I keep installing it to the local user and it needs to be local machine according to this. Well, why didn't you just say so? Sure. Okay, let's back up and try this again. Okay, closing out everything. Getting annoyed with this. Okay, you sit here. You sit here. Let's see. Properties, digital what is it? See, this is AppX. This guy here doesn't show as signed, so it must be in here. Digital signatures. This guy here. Details, view certificate, install certificate, local machine. Store location, change it to local machine. Next, accept the UIC prompt. Blah blah blah. Place all certificates. Trusted people. Next. Import was successful. Okay. Third time's the charm, or 18th time. Depends on how you. Ah ha ha! Look at that. Green check mark. Ah, huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. Okay, where is the thumbs up? This guy needs a thumbs up. Oh, we should log in first. And sure, log me in, please. And now I give you a thumbs up. There, because that was helpful. Thank you very much. And there's our app running again. Huzzah. What happens if we do this? Does it? Oh, it doesn't need any of the permissions. That's interesting. Wonder why that's the case. Okay. Regardless, that works. Okay, so let's check this in. So now that we got this working, so let's pull up latest. Stage file. So what all we got going on here? We have a whole bunch of stuff. This guy got a whole bunch of configurations that got added. Hold on. Reload. We're going to check this really fast. So a couple things we're going to change. So let's see. Add existing item. And we're just going to bring in the... I like to have my pipeline YAML somewhere where I can find it. So we're going to put it there. And then I want to look at configuration manager. Because it looked like there was a bunch. Yeah. See, it added a bunch of stuff. Why did you add all of these? No. So remove, yes. Remove, yes. Remove, yes. Remove, yes. Okay, let's not hang ourselves and make our life harder than it needs to be. Okay, so back here, stage all. Okay, so we've got the Azure Pipelines YAML change where we just added it. I'm sorry, I'll make this a little bigger. So pipeline YAML change, new package project, x64 debug and release configurations. Okay, seems reasonable. In the, oh boy, can I make you bigger? Can't move you. Okay, so there's some images that it adds. Great. There's an AppX, which is a bunch of stuff. Great. We probably want to change some of this at some point, but whatever, right? Okay, so adding setup package. Commit changes and push. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to change our build pipeline, because I don't want to right-click publish. There's an old saying, friends don't let friends right-click publish. Because the big issue here is if developers are right-clicking and publishing the app, you have no guarantee of consistency, right? It also means that you might have to expose things like your certificate to your developers, and that's probably not what you want. So what we would like to do is have this controlled by our Azure Dev Ops Pipeline. I have no idea how to do it. Let's go find out. So you're going to close back to here, right? Pipelines. And it's going to go through and it's going to do some compiling and some thinking. And it can think about what it's done. That's fine. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to search here and just see MSI X, right? That's not helpful. So the like we could also look up the ms build command and figure out what this guy is executing on the publish. So if we look at let's see, deployment maybe? No. Build. We might have to kick one off again real quick just to see what it does, right? Because if we get the command, we can kick it off. But I am curious. A lot of times, very rarely do you run into a case where somebody hasn't written something already for you. Setup, installer. Let's see. Those are not what I want. Okay, where is the link to the marketplace? Marketplace. Let's see. Azure DevOps Grade MSI. Okay. Yeah, this is sort of what I want. Great, great packaging. Blah, 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 blah. This is actually probably helpful because this is showing how to export the certificate into the correct location. Continuous integration. This is what we're talking about. Oh, yuck. This is not the type of PowerShell I want to see. So let's see here. What are you doing? Package AppX manifest. Is this still? Yeah, that's what we got, right? So it's loading the AppX manifest. It's, what is it changing here? Found Windows 10 identity, changing the version. Okay, so this just sets the version and saves it back. Version package manifest. So this is updating the version so that they control with build variables. Okay, great. Let's see. MS build. So they target the WAP project, which is what we have, right? I think that's what we have. Boom. Nope, not that one. Also not that one. There we go. So so they do an MS build on this guy, build arguments, they give it an output path, sideload only, not sure if that's what we want, AppX bundle, yada 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 yada. Doing some stuff, passing some parameters. Interesting. Okay, so if this really feels like there should be a .NET CLI command for this. Download secure file. Script. So wait, what is this doing? Well, this is just grabbing the sign tool and executing it. I don't think you need to do this. I didn't think. I'm pretty sure sign tool is available on the path. I could be wrong. So sign the MSI X package, and this is important here. This artifact staging directory, because anything you put inside of this folder is what's going to get published out as part of the artifacts that get uploaded at the end of the build. So when was this updated? June. Yuck, I'm hoping this isn't my only option, but I mean we can certainly go down this path if we need to. Pipeline configuration. I have to believe DevOps. All right, somebody's made an extension. I can't believe people are okay with that. Really? Somebody, there is a open field here apparently. Load with partial name, file share. Yeah, because this is what I was envisioning doing, is dropping it out on a storage account somewhere. Because that seems like the easiest place to put it. Yeah, so they're putting it in a file share and then just mounting it. Let's see, web installs to a web server to generate a version app install file and HTML page. This is close to what we want, because I think this is what I would rather do. Because just host it in blob storage I think would be easier. I mean, why make myself mount a drive when I can just point it at blob storage instead? So app installer URI. Yeah, let's go down this path. This seems like the easiest path forward, much to my chagrin. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Okay, so we're going to need to do a couple things. First, we're going to need ourselves a storage account. So, let's go set one up. So, give me one moment to get signed in appropriately. And then we will go... Let's see here. So, I think we're going to do this in its own. Okay. So I think we are going to create actually, let's not put this in its own resource group. Where is is it in automation or just testing? Automation. So we'll put it here. This will be a fine place for it. Okay, so we need a storage account. Yeah, one of those please. Create and storage account name. Stream subtitles, I think. Since this is largely for me, let's put it geographically closer to me. Account type general purpose, that sounds good. Read access. Read access geo redundant storage. This is right. This is not going to be a hot item. This is going to be something that gets hit once a week by one user. That doesn't sound like I need a hot tier for it. So networking, public endpoint, yes, we're going to let anyone download. Secure transfer required. Sure, I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Large file shares off, soft delete off, blah, 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 great. Tags, don't care, review and create. Sure, sounds good. Make me a storage account. Because I think this is where we're just going to have, we're going to point the update location at this. And ultimately, I think I want to have the pipeline just automatically publish this guy out. I think, probably, maybe. Why not? And then we'll work on changing it. Okay, so containers. Let's see. Subtitles. Private, no anonymous access. Yeah, let's just turn it on. But so clients can enumerate blobs with the container by anonymous request, but cannot containers within the storage account. Maybe we should just go blob for now. Oh, this is not available. Yeah, okay, fine. Happy? I think that's all we need. Probably. Okay. So, let's see here. Where do I get my subtitles? Change access low, access policy, container properties. Where is the URL? That thing. That's what I want. Okay, so we're going to just put you up here for a minute. Pin. Come back to you. Come back to you in a minute. Okay, back down here. Back over here. Let's see. Continuous integration. Continuous deployment. So let's start with the integration piece. So I think we're going to go with, for now we're just going to copy their work. We will work on cleaning it up later. So major, minor, revision. Okay. What else do we do? Steps, PowerShell. I really, really don't like this. But sure. Sure, fine. I'd rather move this into a PowerShell script itself. So let's see, nougat-y stuff. Let's do it sometime after NuGet, but before build, I guess. So this is not going to be the correct path. So we need to find the appropriate path. And I think the default working directory is where we want to start. Boom. And then let's go back over here, because I believe that's going to drop me into here. And then I want here and that, right? So I just need this twice over with Wpf project on the end. So that there, that there. I guess this is the app manifest, right? So just package app manifest. So we'll do that. Loads that up, goes update version manifest with the version number. Okay, there's that. Let's see, MS build, package the app. Okay, so let's come over here. We're not going to do this unless, because if tests pass or if tests fail, there's no reason we need to be doing fancy stuff. So I think this is just, yeah, there. Something more akin to that. Package build sideload only. I think that's what we want. Apex bundle never. Staging directory. I don't think this is what we want. I think we want to call it, we did it here. How about, so this is what's bothering me here, right? Because this says MSI X. But this guy, where am I? I'm lost. There we are. But this guy here built an app installer with an MSI X bundle. I want to know what the command is for this. Create an app installer file manually. This sounds more akin to what I want. Complete sample app installer file. Okay. Create the app installer file, which do we have that? We don't. So we'll need to figure out what this guy's doing. Okay. Add the main package information. Add the optional packages. Add dependencies. Add update settings. This should be a Windows 10 app. Blah blah blah. Create packages. Create app package. Alright, so this goes through. Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me that this is just an XML file? Well, looky there. Okay then. So that makes that a little bit easier. So then, okay. Distribute. Sure, let's look at the Azure one, because this is kind of what we want. Start a project, web app, blah blah blah, stand it up, upload files, etc., etc., etc. Sure. Mapping type. Okay, that's sort of what I want, but I want to figure out configure update settings on app installer file. I want to figure out create app. What? How do I make this MSI X bundle though? Oh, is there a template? Add app installer template, which is the packaging thing that we did. Great, great. App installer in Azure Dev Ops. So hold on, is the output of compiling this thing just So there's an MSI X, but I don't so okay, I'm very confused here because I am not. I want to know how the right click publish got all the way to this point. So show me. So I've got, so this doesn't count. This is in app packages. because I want to know how to get all of this stuff built and created from the command line. There's good news. The latest image from the Windows hosted agent includes, so you can leverage app installer template also in your pipeline. It's easy enough as described in the documentation. Okay. So we've already got latest. This is just showing how to turn it on. Let's see. This way you'll be automatically on websites. Msi X custom app install without manually change it. Support the new features. Blah blah blah. Great. So what I'm missing though is how do I do this from the command line, or how do I do this? Let's start with this real quick. Clean this guy up, right? I'm very much wanting to see on a straight up build, what is the output in this thing? This doesn't look like, this looks like something that could be packaged up, but it doesn't look like what I would expect. All right? AppX recipe, what are you? Okay. Let's try this still though. We still have where basic template, package information. I've already got this thing though. Right? But now that I'm here, app installer. App installer documentation. Add package by app installer. File schema. Create app installer file. Where does this... I am confused at this. Protocol activation scheme. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about this. All I'm going to do is download it. Setup, start a project. Let's look at the starter project that they have. What exactly do you have here? AppX bundle certificate file, right? And what we ended up with was an MSI X bundle and a certificate file. But again, this was a right-click publish, not an actual publish. I feel like all of this stuff is slightly out of date. Okay, let's try this here real quick. So clear all. Let's see, what is it? Logging, build logging. Turn you on real quick. So publish, create app packages. Sort of just hoping that this guy, oh, we should turn him on first. Let's see here. Sort of hoping I just snag the command that it's using here and then be done with it. Yeah, that's fine. We can generate app bundle always. Create. So you'll note these are the commands and the target project. So the target that this guy fired off with was generate AppX package. So it did a build followed by _ generate AppX package. Okay. I'm ignoring this one because you'll note the type here is design time build, which was likely triggered by me having this guy open in the designer. So we don't care about him right now. So yeah, so another design time build. So we're gonna turn you off for the moment, and we're gonna double click on you and just take a quick look. Show me those properties again, please. Show me everything that got set. So this is the unfortunate part, is I don't know the exact invocation, but I do know these are all the right values. Well, right enough. So let's take a quick look back at that other doc that we were playing with. Let's see, because it said output path UAP. So basically, I'm just trying to see if these are the same values. Okay, let's make sure we're on the right spot. Let's see, UAP. Yeah, so I think UAP. Okay, so output path UAP AppX package build mode side load only. AppX build mode side load only. Okay, so that seems to okay. So I think we're on the right path with these docs. It's just confusing as all get out. There might be some other stuff that we have to play with and figure out, but for now, it's gonna work. Okay, so we're gonna continue on where we were. Sorry for the major detour there while I lose myself. Okay, just like to understand what's happening. So sideload only, AppX bundle. So this is AppX bundle never. What did we use here? So we'll go up. AppX bundle always. So we're going to change that. Always. Thank you. AppX package output. So let's see. AppX package element OP. Let's see, AppX package artifacts dir. That is not, does not appear to be one that matters. Right? So we might come back to that here in a moment. This appears to be pointed at an MSI X file. So let's see here. What do we have here that might be similar or might be the same one? Upload blah 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 blah. This is the yeah. So I'm going to go back up to AppX package file map. Sort of tempted to go look at what's in that real quick. So that's buried under OBJ x64 release package map. Well, let's look at this. Okay, don't care. Package map, package map. Might have gotten cleared out. Right? Yep, not there. Okay, not going to concern myself with it too much then. AppX package recipe. Package build AppX recipe. Because this is what I'm wondering if this actually contains more than meets the eye, right? Because when we compile this guy, bin x64 release package build stream time, because this guy here has a lot of information. Like, he gets populated with pretty much everything. Kind of wondering if that's what I want to set instead. Let's keep looking, but we're going to come back to that. That's probably what I'm thinking needs to be set for it. Oh, for anyone who is interested in what extension I'm running here, it is the project system tools. That's where I'm getting this build output logging stuff. Very handy tool, by the way. So for anyone who is interested in it, project system tools by Microsoft. I'm on version 101 dot big number. Okay. So that's probably not it. I'm basically looking for something that looks like it's targeting an output directory, preferably with an AppX name. We can just keep going down here real quick and seeing, but I'm not thinking that one that we found is probably what we're looking for. And I am somewhat wondering if we actually need to set any of these things, because some of these properties may get set for us. So what we might do here, let's do this. Let's just take let's just turn you off, right? Because you clearly don't need to be set. AppX signing enabled. Let's look at that one. So back up here. AppX signing enabled. AppX package signing enabled true. So this guy here actually fed in the signing. But when they did it on the command line, they signed it retroactively. How did they get the key? Now I'm curious if my cert key is somehow in here. Suppose I should actually look at exactly what it is, because it's the problem when you don't know your own cert. Let's see. What are you? Okay. Just in case I see it. It'd be nice to know the first few characters to be hunting for. Wait a minute. Really? Did I seriously just do that again? Well, hold the phone there. We might be going and cycling that key real quick. Is that the actual key? Yeah, it is. It is. So let's go regen that key. Okay, carrying on. Getting really good at regenerating these keys. I am wondering if I just broke. My subtitles keep working even after I regen that key. Little surprised at that. Not really sure how that's working because I thought it was using the same key. It must be using key 2 instead of key 1. Okay, carrying on then. Okay, well I don't see anything. So I don't quite understand how that's going to work. So I think we probably leave signing turned off and do the same retroactive signing like what they did, because if we leave it on, I don't see how this is going to work. Okay, so there's that. Where did this go? Okay, so they did download secure file, certificate PFX, and then let's see, P secret. So this guy's going to need to become a variable, because there's no way we're just going to drop that guy right in right there, right? Let's see, and I think publish artifact drop is implied, but maybe not. So let's just grab all of these, go back over here, paste, right? So we've got that, download secure file, script, and I'm fairly confident we don't have to. I'm fairly confident sign tool exists on the path on these build agents. I'm fairly confident of that, in fact. So we're going to go with it. And if it's not, we're going to know real fast. Okay, so we need a secure file. And how about a cert password, right? So we're going to need certificate, PFX, and a password for it. And I think I want to rename this. Non-packaged app I think is okay for now. MSI X desktop app. Kind of curious as to how build artifact staging directory. Oh, was that one previously dumping it in there? Was that how it was going? Ha 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 ha. We are going to just omit this then for the moment. And we will omit this for the moment and just see if this works, right? Because I'm curious to just look at the output of this and then we'll deal with signing it. So, step 1, no pending changes, great, save, save. And then we will go over and take a look on our pipeline and see what's happening. Oh, that's probably a bad sign. So just adding the setup package caused us to fail. Oh, stop moving around. This is obnoxious. Okay. What are you squawking about? Oh, we don't have the latest .NET. We need the latest .NET Core stuff. Got it. Okay. Well, we can get that real quick. I think I actually have a copy of this because I believe we're doing this on the material design project. So let's take a quick look at my pipeline YAML here. Use .NET Core version. Boom, this guy. So we are almost assuredly going to error out and fail again, specifically when it gets down to here. So we're just going to cancel this build. because I want to make the change, and then we'll kick it back off. So this guy here, edit, because we want to grab, so right after NuGet install, we'll do .NET Core version, and just for consistency, we'll do this, and back over here, and I want the 3.1 release, please. Commit directly in. Okay, now we'll let this guy go, because in theory, this guy now properly downloads .NET Core 3.1. And we'll see where this guy goes. I'm very interested to see. Well, so you know what we could do? Let's just start with this pull, right? If we go back here, Solution Explorer, Azure Pipelines, we can test this, right? So we can sort of get ourselves into the right situation and verify. Oh, this isn't going to work. Bah humbug. Bah humbug. Let's just keep canceling, just keep canceling, just keep canceling, and go back. Let's see, up a level, edit, because our project file, nope, not that one. Let's go up a level, is this guy. So he's going to need to be pointed at there, there. Let's see, because this is just an MS build 1, right? So let's actually just do this. So ding, 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 ding. I am wondering if I should change the target. Nah, we'll just let it go. Because I'm noticing this guy is not actually changing the target. Which means we could probably even do this as part of this build up here. Right? Because this is just asking for solution build configuration. Passing these things, aside from output path, shouldn't affect the other projects. Well, because this might end up actually doing a double compile. So we'll let that guy go for a minute, and we're going to get a, let me get a, so, wait a minute, why am I not using my cool terminal? That's right, it doesn't. I don't have it set up with my cool theme yet. So we're going to go with this. Let's see. So this guy here. We want to do the same thing that this guy is going to do. Pull latest, please. So he's going to target this. So first of all, I guess my first question is MS build on my path. No. So I'm going to need the developer command prompt. Boom. CD :/dev. That guy. So build, right? Because that's what I believe this guy got kicked off with. It's almost going to be quicker to just wait for PowerShell exited with exit code 1. Well, that's not a good sign. Cannot convert argument name to type element. X name. So apparently we need to start with something a little simpler. The versioning of this. Well, in the interest of simplicity, let's do this. Let's abandon the versioning, because all this PowerShell script is designed to do is change the... Why would this fail, though? I'm not sure. Because all that's designed to do is update the version. And right now, we just need the thing to actually create an installer for us. That's the goal, at least. Okay. So, developer command prompt. And I really want to see just what the build command is going to look like. And I can probably go back to here, right? Let's see, because this guy here kicks off what? Let's see. So it does ms build, pointed at the solution, sets up a logger, etc., etc., etc. Right? So I should be able to just do ms build, pointed at my project. Where is the... There should be something about the x64 in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so I really want to just grab all of you and then modify you a little. Oh, come on. Come on, really? Copy. Give me a new one. Paste. Okay. So we're going to run, because ms builds on my path, so that'll work. We're not going to do this. We're going to execute from here. We're going to do so get rid of that. We're going to go like that. Wpf proj. Right. We don't care about the logger. Also because we aren't going to have it at this path. Not going to care about any of these. So all that goes away. Platform x64, configuration release, Visual Studio version, all of those matter. Deployment agent, don't care, right? So those are all of those switches. And then inside of here, we're also specifying these values. Right? And there's nothing fancy about any of those. So it looks... So our total invocation is going to look something akin to this. So copy. Paste. Okay, that was a nice quick and dirty fail. Let's see. It wants .NET SDK 3.1. Wait. .NET. What do I have installed? Okay. Sure that the restore has run. You've included in the blah 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 Win x64 in your runtime identifiers. See, this is why things get confusing. Okay, so let's see. Did this guy specify runtime identifier on the command line? Is that how that got in? Someone somewhere figured this, did something different, and this is why I'm somewhat hoping to be able to figure out what this is. Run dependencies, runtime identifiers. This guy literally just passed everything. Wow. Okay. Well, we can keep going. Let's turn on word wrap real quick, just to make my life a little bit easier. Runtime fires. Wow, so it turned on bloody everything. Let's see. Win10 ARM, Win10 ARM AOT. No, no, no. 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 Yes. Yeah, sure, fine. Nope, so let's see. Copy and back over here. Paste, enter. I'm wondering if we need to do the default target, build target. I am confused. Why would this not? This should have the okay. Ensure the restore has run and you've included .NET Core app in the target frameworks for your project. Let's see. Yeah, that's there. Let's just jump back here. Build failed, somewhat expectedly, but let's look at exactly why it failed. VS build. So what's the error? Oh, good. Sure that the restore has run and you've included. Okay, well, it's at least failing locally the same way it's failing up on the server. So that's convenient. So we need to solve this. Is this file? Let's take a look at this, because I feel like this is one of those cases where I've bumped into this before, and I don't think it's the global JSON stuff. Let's see. This sounds remarkably familiar. Hey, Nate McMaster. Binlog has runtime, which is down here. So this guy ended up being a change that they pushed through. Let's see. Sure, proper RID is set. What exactly did you change? Let's see, runtime identifier. So I guess the first question is, how was that specified here? So runtime identifiers. Did I typo this guy? Runtime identifiers. Boy, it sure looks like that's correct. Okay, ensure you have included .NET Core app in the target frameworks for your project. So just to be clear, I can build, right? I'm just wondering if maybe one of the other, if maybe the mainstream subtitles project hadn't been built yet and so it was failing, perhaps? So let's go and look at this stream subtitles object file and let's just see what's in it, because I don't see my bug. Let's see, open with code please. Oh, Netcore App 3.0, not 3.1. Is that my problem? No, that is not it. Let's continue the search. Oh, this is material design. So not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. So let's, where's my error message again? Does not have a target for Netcore App version 3.1. Win-x64. I'm wondering if this guy needs a runtime identifier set. For example, runtime identifiers. And we'll just put the same thing in here. Well, let's do this. Let's go singular. We don't need both. And then let's rebuild this guy and see what that does to our project asset JSON. Ah ha 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 ha! Netcore App. Okay, that's looking more promising. Got it. So this is the one without the runtime identifier. This is the one with. Needs it for the, okay. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just gonna turn that one off for the moment. And still fails, but let's edit our command here to not have that. Let's see, stream subtitles project does not have a target for, I'm pretty sure I just saw a target. Targets. So what are you saying you don't have a target for? Netcore App version 3.1 Win 10x64. Let's see here. So this is being set at Win 10. I don't know what the appropriate one is. So let's do that. I don't need you anymore. No thanks. Thanks for asking. So what are you? So I think we're going to leave this here, but I'm going to change this one to Win64. Right? And we're going to build. This might be the subtle difference because those two MS build commands out on the Azure pipeline. The first one targets the solution file, this guy here, whereas the second one is targeting the app installer package. Again, I think we might be able to get away just passing these parameters to all of them, but we're going to find out. Okay, so if we do this, ha 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 ha, that's looking a lot better. Boom. Okay, so the problem that I still have with this is this generated an MSI X, but I also told it to generate an MSI X. But that is different than what I got over here, which is an MSI X bundle. So the question is, what is the difference? 69280. So let's go back over here and see. So if we jump up into packages, I think we put it in bin. No, non-packaged app. I think, do you happen to have built me for bundle? What is in for bundle? Fix manifest. Okay, so this guy built this out. We're going to leave it for now and just trust that this is right. But I think that at least gets that much working. Okay, so let's figure this ugly guy out. All right, because this is clearly not working. So I don't know. Let's do new item, the PowerShell. Paste. And we're just going to open you over here. So let's see, jump up. Save. Still have no idea how to uncomment. Okay. I must not have the PowerShell tools installed on my Visual Studio yet. That's fine. We can do it in code. Okay, so this guy is expected to run from the root. So we're just going to change off a couple of these here and make some sweeping assumptions about how this is going to work. We're going to change these variables out because we know these will get swapped later. And just for fun, we'll put a 9 there. Okay, so in theory, this is expected to work, right? That's the theory. Part of me wonders if this is going to be, oh, this is not, I need a PowerShell window. Let's see, what is it? Oh, I guess I can just copy and paste this. Doom. Okay, so let's do could not find part of the path. Okay, so let's do this. Because the actual code is going to have the variable at the front, so we're just going to slap it in. Okay, so this is the same failure. So cannot let's see. Cannot convert argument name with value type for element to is this something like I believe X names take in a I think this class has like a full name property on it, or its base class does. Let's look real quick. I think it's just missing that. Let's see, properties. It's the local unqualified part of the name. I think you can do this though, right? I think there's an overload for element that just takes the string and does the conversion. Let's try that. Boom. So let's see. This should be out null. I suppose we should actually validate real quick that that thing actually changed the manifest. Let's see. Open. Packaging. Let's have it set values that we can actually see here. So 1, 2, 3, right? Save, close, and rerun the script. You cannot call a method on a null attribute. Wait, what? Didn't you literally just work a moment ago? Undo, 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 undo. Oh, because this got set to this guy here. Okay, so let's, well, for starters, let's first confirm this, right? Make sure that that actually set something useful. So Solution Explorer, might have to submit a pull request on that, on those docs, because that is clearly an error. And let's see, packaging 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. So our PowerShell now works there for the versioning. I don't like the weird output. I'm trying to, one of these lines, I thought this was, I'll have to go and find it. I've done some other code. Is it this one here that's causing that? One of these guys is, I think it's probably that one. There we go. Okay, so this is the magical script we want. Okay, so back into here. Back into here. Let's go through and clean this up. Really? You don't know how to undo that, huh? Nope. Let's see. Multi-cursor support. There we go. Boom. So that. Paste. And then up, up, up. Double, double. Triple. And then whack all the way down to here. Okay. So, actually, not quite what I wanted because I wanted this string here, not my hard-coded version. I want that. And then I want the path here to be this. Go with the / to be consistent. Not that it's going to make a difference in this case. There. Okay, so something akin to that. That fixes that. That fixes that. This guy should build now, and the fix for it was the change to the CS proj, so everything's local. Oh dear heavens, what have we done? So we are going to delete this file because we don't need it anymore, which means we should probably have done it from here so that it updates the solution file accordingly. Okay, let's figure out what the heck. So non-package apps, discard all. Yeah, we don't want that. Discard all, we don't want that. Okay, so there. Sure, I guess. And better. Stage all changes. Attempting fix to build Msi X. Commit. Push. Okay, so we'll see how that does real quick. Not that window. Need to quit opening that window. Need to get that window to stop showing my keys. Okay. Oh, interesting. Did my subtitles actually cut out? They appear to have done so. That is a very convenient thing. Probably means I need to restart them here in a moment. Let me do that real quick. Just grab this. Let's see here. Grab me my keys. I'm gonna have my local copy use a different key, just so I stop breaking myself every time I go to run it. Okay, so you we'll just have to relaunch you. Come here. Come here. And let's see here. Underneath my temp stuff, underneath my launch stuff. Test, test, test. There we go. Subtitles are back. Huzzah! Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's see what the pipeline's doing. Let's see. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Back over to your pipelines. Pipelines. Latest one is churning, so that's a plus in the right direction. Though it hasn't gotten to the interesting ones yet. This is one of the most obnoxious parts about doing pipeline type work, is you can only test so much local, and then you just got to kind of hope and pray. And then push and be patient. Push and be patient. Which is why we should look at figuring out the caching on this guy. Because I do believe that there is opportunities for caching. Just to make them a little quicker. Because usually some of the slowest parts are the checkout. There's only so much you can do about it, right? Because it's got a clone. Oh, build failure again. What is your problem? What is your problem? Come on, show me your error. Let's see. Visual Studio. No certificate found with the supplied thumbprint. Ah, okay. Now we're making progress. So this guy is attempting to sign it, and no happy. No happy. Okay, so let's figure that guy out real quick. So how do we turn off your signing? You're probably in here, I would imagine. Oh, actually, we can probably turn off some of these project configurations. Debug. Let's get rid of a bunch of these, because we're not ever going to use any of these. I'm a little surprised that all of these are defined too, because interesting. Hopefully that doesn't break anything by nuking them. We'll know shortly. Okay, so one of these should have a, yeah, so this guy here. Alright, so that's package certificate thumbprint. Kind of just want to comment it for now. Generate app installer file. Oh, so we could, okay, so let's, oh, yuck. Yuck. Sometimes Visual Studio, sometimes. We do not need all of these. I really, especially with the newer CS proj format, I do not like when I see these types of checks, especially when they're always being set to the same thing. Just move it up into the default property group and be done with it. So that'll fix that. Let's go in here, because I think we actually set that variable, didn't we? AppX bundle always. See, we don't need to override that. We'll let the project file handle it. Done. Okay, so that property is now set right there. So is there anything else that would trigger this guy to do signing? Package certificate thumbprint. We turned off the two cert. Okay, how about sign? AppX package signing enabled. Well, that sounds like the one we wanted to turn off. it just me or is that bouncing? Let's see. I think it's just me. Whatever. We are going to turn this off too here, because that shouldn't do anything. Okay, that. Just trying to see what all of these are doing. Okay, let's give that a shot. View changes, packaging stuff, pipeline stuff, more attempts to compile the oh, you know what's going on though. This failed. This failed at the first one, not the second one where we're specifying the parameters. Oh. Okay, let's look at combining these real quick, because that might actually save us a little bit of headache. So undo, no, redo. So let's go ahead and leave these guys here, right? So insert. All right, but if we go to our pipeline and grab these, I think we can just pass. Again, I don't know this for a fact. I think we can blindly pass the MS build arguments. Copy. And as long as we don't set the output path, I think we're fine. Right? Because I think we can just do this. And there's nothing that needs to, because we aren't trying to act on the output of this yet. Oh dear heavens, Visual Studio, you're annoying me. And I think we can get away with this. Okay, now let's try. Stage all changes. Double check. Clean up. Apex bundle. Why don't I see an addition? Too many deletions. Stage that one line. Back over here. So now let's look. This guy here, this guy here. It's going to leave that in. Default property group. Cool. Boom. Push. Let's see how that guy goes. I do realize that I'm a little past the end of my stream, and I'm probably going to call it here in a moment. I might have to circle back around to this, because it does feel like something that shouldn't quite be this hard, but I do want to solve this. I've got several apps that it would be very nice to be able to distribute this way. And so I think getting an initial build working. If anyone does have an example build of doing this, please send me a link, post a thing in the comments. I'd love to take a look at it and understand exactly what this thing is doing, because I have not worked with these particular commands at all, especially for distributing Wpf apps. So again, if anybody has the magical incantation, that would be awesome, because this sort of build process feels yucky. That's the best way I can describe it. Let's see here. I'm really hoping that this, I'd like to see it get past the build at some point and just see what's going on. Why is my... Come on. Go, 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 go. I know. Restoring NuGets is not an easy task. There we go. That guy goes. Come on, build. Because the nice part, worst case scenario, we should be able to just grab this MS build invocation and run it locally as well. Hang on. Why didn't that have our MS build arguments? Did I miss something? Did we... Huh? Did I not include the... I don't see those extra MS build arguments that we added. Am I crazy? What'd I do? Something's not right. MS build arguments. That certainly looks right. Let's look at it. Let's go here and look at it. Did I botch something in here? Settings. Oh. Settings, paste, add. Ah, there's another bug. Nah. So I'll pull the diff up here. This will be a little more obvious. Pull, get latest. So if you look at the diff here, you'll notice there is a small but important difference between msbuild args and msbuild arguments. So either this is a typo or the name of that has changed. So I will note that this is using VS build versus MS build. So I am realizing that because this one was using the MS build one rather than the VS build. So slightly different. Maybe there's a subtle difference between each of these. Oops. Okay, last build. I really just want to see one success here and get this thing to actually build it out, especially since I know that the command ran locally, which means there's a really, really good chance that it runs here. I hope there's a really good chance that it runs here. Come on. Come on. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. There you go. Come on, NuGet. Restore all the stuff. Restore all the stuff. I know it's hard. I know. You can do it. So let's see here. I guess that one isn't necessarily a typo. I think it's just this guy here is the typo with the PowerShell script. Does this guy have a nice GitHub documentation? Does not, which makes it much harder to submit a pull request to fix it. Let's look. We are no longer Oh, that's because they switch. Ah, ha, ha. Got it. Got it. So that's the reason that's not there anymore. Okay. Well, that's really unfortunate. Should look and see if I can find an updated version of this somewhere. Since clearly we're going backwards. Oh, 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 look at that. It compiled. It compiled. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, nothing in the artifacts directory, which is not shocking in the least. But it did compile and run. Yes, or I should say it compiled and ran the unit test. So, same warnings. So this guy should have built out everything we need. So what did this guy do here? So copying file from blah 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 to temp. So this guy went into temp for its output. So create test layout. So here's the other question I have. This guy here, generate AppX package. Did this guy call? So you'll note these are the names of the targets. So let's do generate AppX. So it didn't actually do it. So let's jump back here real quick. So I believe what we can do is, let's see, targets, gets, and I think what we can do here is just open logs external. Oh, look at that. This is close to what I want, except for that is not quite what I want. Copy, I guess. Let's see here. I think if we go here and we just do ms build, show me how do I specify targets. I think it's just /targets if I'm not mistaken. There. Description. Yeah, /target. So I think I realize that this guy shows hyphens, but obviously the slash is working. So we're gonna go back up, because that was one of the first ones there, and just drop it in. Targets, plural, right? Target, singular. Colon, paste. I want this. Just really want that, right? Copy, and then we are going to come over here. Nope, this one. Clear this out. Paste. I'm curious what this guy's going to do. Hopefully, because this has the output path set, right? Yeah, non-packaged. Probably should have cleared it first. So it did generate me a new one. Not entirely clear what that gained me. Not sure if it gained me much over just doing the SOS README. Oh. Not sure that gained me much over just blindly doing the build directly, because that just added one extra target to the food chain. And I am wondering if there's no difference between the MSI X and the MSI X bundle. I'm not clear on what that difference would be. But regardless, we have a build that actually compiled and ran. Everything's checked in. So again, for anybody who wants the links, I will post them here in the chat. So let's see here. Repo there. Yeah, I'll just post it as one big block. So there is the repo links, the documentation link, and the Azure DevOps link for anybody who wants to go in and poke and see what I did. I may poke at this a little bit more and try and finish it. Next week may end up being material design, but I did also invite several of my coworkers if they wanted to pair on stream, so it might be a little bit more of a variety, and we'll see how things go. So hopefully people find that interesting. If you want to give me feedback, I always love to hear it. Either leave something in the comments, or you can always find me on GitHub or Gitter and send me a message that way, or even Twitter as well. So with that, I'm going to sign off, say happy coding, and have a good night.